everyone, greetings. Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome to this video. In today's video, we are doing a throwback. One of my old favorites that I used to listen to on repeat. I would pretend I was very intense and moody and dramatic when I really wasn't. I would stare at things out the window, walk around with my headphones and just be like, so I love this song a lot. In today's video, I'm going to be doing an in-depth lyric analysis of the song Somewhere Only We Know by the band Keane. I'm really stoked for this. As a quick disclaimer, music is very subjective, so everything presented in this video is my own personal opinion. I always encourage you all to comment down below what your thoughts are, and if you ever have any suggestions of songs you want me to take an in-depth look at of any artist, go ahead and leave them down below. I tend to concentrate on diction, which is word choice, and connotation, which can be thought of as the vibes or the emotions that the words elicit. If I'm ever looking to the side, I have my iPad, it's where I have the lyrics and some notes. Let's go and get started. Verse 1. I walked across an empty land. I knew the pathway like the back of my hand. I felt the earth beneath my feet, sat by the river, and it made me complete. Something to note about this song in particular is that there's two main ways that you can interpret it, in my opinion. I fluctuate between which way feels true for me. It really just depends on my mood. You can look at it through the perspective of a relationship, as if the protagonist of this song, protagonist just means the main character, as if he's talking about a love interest in a relationship. Or you can think of this as more of an internal sort of dialogue where this protagonist is introspecting. I tend to gravitate more towards the introspective approach to this song, but both of them cross my mind. Let's look at the first line. Imagery wise, I'm just envisioning someone walking across a land that's completely flat. There are no trees, no cute flowers, literally nothing. When I hear this lyric, I envision a bird's eye view, someone just walking, kind of in a desert, I guess, not with sand, with a hard ground. For some reason, that's the image I'm envisioning. It's an empty land. There's nothing there, there's nothing around, and in my opinion, it's completely flat. However, even though it's empty, he knew the pathway like the back of his hand. This is your palm, back of your, this, back of his hand. This is really significant. If the land is empty, it means there are no markers. You can't be yes, you turn right at that tree and turn left at the creek, then you're there. You can't do that. This is a place that our protagonist knows really well. Perhaps in the past, this land wasn't empty. It's possible that when he used to go this route, the land was very fruitful and it was flourishing with life. Maybe now it's different. That's definitely a possibility. Regardless, he knows his way around there. He's very familiar with it. It's kind of like muscle memory. I felt the earth beneath my feet. When I read that lyric, I feel very calm. I get the feeling that when he is walking this familiar path, he has a very calm and zen feeling. The fact that he's feeling the earth gives me a vibe of just mindfulness and of being present in the moment. The land is empty. He's going a way that he knows well, and he's just there. He's present. And that's interesting because if he knows the pathway so well, you would expect him to be on autopilot and just walking and not really paying attention. But he is grounded and he's able to feel the earth beneath his feet. Even though he doesn't really have to pay attention, he is still very much in the moment and he has a lot of awareness right now. This suggests to me that he is going to wherever he's going with an intent and a purpose. He's already being very mindful. He's going in with a feeling of stability and groundedness. The next line is one of my favorite lyrics of literally all time ever. Sat by the river, and it made me complete. I've always wanted to have an Instagram picture of me by a river, and then I would post this lyric on there and I would just be so happy. That's a goal that I have. So he walked across the empty land. He came across a river. All he did was sit by the river and it made him complete. The fact that it made him complete suggests that he was feeling a sort of incompleteness prior to this, which makes me think that he's perhaps taking this journey to search for answers or to search for a sort of understanding. Water symbolically is a very purifying thing. I touched upon this in my lyric analysis of the song Cardigan by Taylor Swift, which I will post shortly. Water is very purifying, it's very cleansing, and this is a river, which means that the water is moving. It's not stagnant. Stagnant water can harbor germs and things like that, but a river is a water that's flowing. So it symbolizes to me a sort of liveliness. It's life. He's sitting by a river that's flowing with life, and it's making him complete. Just being in proximity to this river is providing him with a sort of healing. He doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to even think about anything. He is just merely existing adjacent to this flowing river, and it is helping him heal in some sort of way. It's very beautiful. Hashtag Walden vibes. Oh simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin. I get so emo when I listen to this song. This is a moment of introspection. Oh simple thing, where have you gone? The protagonist of this song is reminiscing. That lyric is kind of melancholy, kind of wistful. This lyric shows that there is acknowledgement of the simplicity that existed within the past. The protagonist recognizes that that simplicity is no longer in existence in his present life. Where has it gone? You know how sometimes you just get to a point in your life and you're just like, literally, how did I get here? You just need to sit down and just think of what led up to you being in this current mindset, in this current situation. And I think that he is having a similar moment here. He is recognizing that things are much more complex now. I get the feeling that he is longing for the simplicity of the past. Things were perhaps easier, perhaps brighter. He is really introspecting here about the past and his present and the space between the two. I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. There has definitely been a passage of time, right? He's getting old. What he is searching for here is stability, you know, something stable, something to rely on. Perhaps for him, something simple is something he can rely on. It's very interesting to me that he is searching for something stable, because I really felt that he felt strong and stable as he was walking across the land. There's definitely feelings of stability within the lyrics to the song that I think are very significant. And even just sitting by the river, when he was sitting by the river, he's stationary and the river is the only thing moving. So when something's stationary, I assume it's like stable. He is exhibiting some characteristics of stability, but perhaps he needs other things that exhibit stability that he can rely on. And maybe he needs simplicity more than stability. I don't know. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. This could be him talking to another person, perhaps a love interest, even a friend, maybe an old friend that maybe he drifted apart from, and he's asking them, when are you gonna let me in so we can be close again? I'm gonna interpret this as more of an introspective type of vibe where he's asking himself, when am I gonna allow myself to acknowledge myself? It's very possible for you to lock yourself out of yourself. Let me explain. I think a lot of times in life, especially as you get older, you kind of exhibit tunnel vision. You're just going. One day you just look up and you're just like, whoa, literally, where am I? Literally, how did I get here? Like, am I the one who drove here? Like, how? What? You really can lose your sense of self. It's obviously possible for you to keep other people out from knowing you, but you can do that to yourself too. To me, this is just an introspective type of, like, when am I gonna allow myself to acknowledge how I feel, to acknowledge what I think about my situation? I think this is a sort of feeling you have when you're lost and you just need to check in with yourself, and you need to allow yourself to feel, and you need to allow yourself to figure out what is it that you need. And he knows that he needs something simple. And I think he's walking across either this literal land or this metaphorical land in efforts to find simplicity. Or when I read the lyrics to the song, it actually reminds me of a song by Miranda Lambert called The House That Built Me. That song is about her visiting her childhood home. One of my favorite lyrics in there is when she says, I thought if I could touch this place of feeling, this brokenness inside of me might start healing. Eloquent, beautiful. I think about that when I think of this song. Perhaps it is a metaphorical land, but he could literally be going to a place where he used to go when he was younger, when things were more simple. Just by being there in that space, it can allow him to feel those feelings again. And just being closer to a place where you felt specific feelings can help you get back to who you were. I hope that made sense. Like, I will insert a personal anecdote here. There was a time when I was feeling very like, I randomly just came straight into my room, got my photo albums, and I sat on the ground and I just looked through my photo albums, and I was like, literally, what am I doing? But I realized that I felt a little bit lost and I just needed to see who I was. For me, the way that I accomplished that was by literally looking at old pictures of myself and being like, okay, this is what I did when I was this age. I went there. I used to do this. I used to do that. My hair used to look like this. I used to wear that shirt. What? That allowed me to feel more connected with myself, and I felt a little bit more stable. I felt like I could stand up a little bit straighter, and I was like, okay, I know who I was, and now I can understand who I am. I think it's a similar type of vibe, but instead of pictures, he's going to a location to access those feelings and those vibes from the past that he wants to remember. Yes. He says he needs somewhere to begin. To me, it feels like he wants to begin a new chapter. He's done with whatever was in the past and he wants to start something new, something simple, something stable, something meaningful. And he's being very mindful about it, I feel like. I came across a fallen tree. I felt the branches of it looking at me. Is this the place we used to love? Is this the place that I've been dreaming of? While he's walking in this place that either exists or is metaphorical, up to you, he sees a fallen tree. It's possible the tree wasn't fallen when he was there last. The passage of time, things have changed. He felt as if the branches were looking at him. He is personifying the setting, and perhaps that's because this location held so much feeling for him that it's just coming to life. He perhaps feels so connected with this location that he has a very intimate relationship with it, that he can feel like the location communicating with him. That's very, very interesting to me. And it gives me sort of like a mystical vibe that I really think is really cool. It's kind of just like a whimsical, not like a happy whimsical, but like a melancholy / whimsical fairy vibe where like he's walking through a forest and the trees are like kind of alive and looking at him, maybe being like, hey, what's up? You used to come here. It's been a second. You're taller now. He's asking, is this the place we used to love? This could be something that he's surprised about. Like, wow, we used to love this place. Perhaps it looks different to him now that he's older. Or maybe it does look different. Maybe it's completely changed. It's like when you visit your hometown and the Barnes & Noble isn't a Barnes & Noble anymore. It's like a McDonald's now and you're like, literally what happened? It could be something like that, but it could just be the fact that he's a different person now. Time has passed, so he's gonna view things differently. He's using the word we, so I'm assuming he didn't go there alone. And again, this could be a metaphorical location, like in your memory, or a literal place. But it's so hard to recreate memories. Like, say you go to karaoke one night with your friends and it's like literally the best night ever, and you want to go again and you're going to go next week. You're going to the same place with the same group of people on a Friday night again, same time, but it's going to be a different vibe. You can't recreate the same thing again. I talked about that a lot in my lyric analysis of Wildest Dreams by Taylor Swift. I'll go ahead and link that for you guys if you'd like. That's what that lyric reminds me of. Is this the place we used to love? It's different now because time has passed, because I'm here alone, right? The word we suggests that he would go with other people. So this is him trying to get something from his past, but it's hard to because it's over. You know what I mean? So he's trying to grasp onto something or understand something, and it's a little bit difficult just because things change second by second. Is this the place that I've been dreaming of? So he has been thinking about this, right? This is very important to him. He has been dreaming about it. This is something that he knows he needs to do, a place he knows he needs to visit. The word dreaming is very important, that diction. He's not saying that I've been thinking of or wondering about. Dreaming. When you dream about something, it's very much rooted in your subconscious mind, right? So there is a depth to what he is trying to pursue and understand. It kind of gives me a mystical vibe again. This is something that's very, very poignant. This is something that's very, very important to him. This is like soul level stuff. Then we have repetition of the chorus. And if you have a minute, why don't we go? Talk about it somewhere only we know. This could be the end of everything. So why don't we go? Somewhere only we know. Somewhere only we know. Again, he could be talking to someone. Let's say it's a relationship or a friendship. He's saying, let's go back to this place where we used to hang out. It's gonna bring back memories and we can reminisce and perhaps repair our relationship. That's one way to look at it. The way I am considering it is he's talking to himself. Hey, if I have a second, let's just go back to this place. Again, either in our minds or let's just take a walk to that place. Let's go sit by that river and let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Let's think this through. Let's face what we may not want to face. Let's do it. This could be the end of everything. Remember, he said he needs somewhere to begin. At the beginning of the song, he felt very stable and mindful, and he wanted to start something. He said that he needs somewhere to begin. Now, the stability has faded, and it feels a little bit more desperate because he's like, oh my God, this could be the end of everything. It's like it's coming down to the last second. I feel like a sports analogy would come in handy here, but I literally don't know anything about sports. Pretend I said something like it's like the last inning or like overtime. I don't know, something. He's like, this could be the end of everything. We need to figure this out. We need to go and think about this. So why don't we go somewhere only we know? Somewhere only we know is repeated. Repetition signifies significance. I say that in all of my videos. But what I love here is that the first time it says somewhere only we know, it's a question, because he's like, let's go, somewhere only we know. But then after that, he is just stating it, somewhere only we know. I know this is like a song and this is the name of the song, so he's repeating it, but let's talk about why I think that's significant. He's saying, let's go, somewhere only we know. This place is special, it's intimate, it holds our secrets, our experiences. This is a place that's just for us. So the outside world cannot infringe upon this place. It's pure. That's why it's gonna hold answers for me. He's asking, let's go to this place, right? Somewhere only we know, question mark. There's desperation here because it could be the end of everything. So when he says, this is the end of everything, let's go, I feel like he's all up in your face with it. And then I feel like he kind of would sigh, like, and then he would wistfully state, somewhere only we know. So the first somewhere only we know question mark is kind of like a desperate, manic type of thing. And then there's a step back where he's like, somewhere only we know. Like he's really thinking about it and he's like, this place holds a lot of meaning. I hope that made sense. Let me know if it did or not in the comments below. The rest of the verses are repeated. There is one verse where the first half is unique, so I'm gonna go ahead and read that next. And if you have a minute, why don't we go? Talk about it somewhere only we know. This could be the end of everything. So why don't we go? So why don't we go? The so why don't we go that's repeated at the end, that's the new lyric. This is him suggesting that they go back to that place. It's very important to him. There are a lot of question marks. There are a lot of questions within this whole song from the first verse on. Lots of questions, and that suggests to me that there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of answers that this protagonist is searching for. In verse 1, there was one question. Verse 2, there were 2 questions. The questions have been in this song since the beginning, but I believe this is the first time there have been 2 questions like right after one another. So we have repetition of a question, and this goes with how I am interpreting it, which is that there is an increasing amount of desperation to figure this out. So why don't we go? So why don't we go? He is getting kind of antsy. It's really important to him to figure out what he needs to figure out. And the repetition of the questions, literally right after one another, suggests that to me. The last verse states, this could be the end of everything. So why don't we go? Somewhere only we know. Somewhere only we know. Somewhere only we know. And that's the end of the song. To me, the protagonist is lost. He is looking for answers, and he starts off in a very mindful state where he's walking across the empty land. He's focused, he's grounded because he knows how to get where he's going, and he can feel the earth beneath his feet. So he is being very mindful and chill and calm. He probably like meditated before, I don't really know. He states he wants somewhere to begin, right? He's looking for a new chapter. He's gonna stand, whatever's in the back is in the back, he's moving forward. But then throughout the song, he's like, come on, this could be the end of everything. The word could, and that statement is very important because he's not saying this is the end of everything, he's saying this could be the end of everything. This really gives me a feeling of anxiety because he's just thinking about the future, right? It's not a statement of fact, it's a statement of maybe. But the repetition of it and the repetition of the 2 questions right after one another towards the end of this song make me feel like he's getting more desperate. Perhaps he's not able to find the answers he's looking for, and it's starting to bug him because he wants to begin, right? He's getting old. He feels like maybe he's running out of time. He needs to figure this out. It's very important to him, so he's getting frustrated by it. I really do think that this place can be interpreted as a actual physical place or kind of a place within your mind, your soul. I think regardless of whether it's physical or just a metaphorical place, I think the place that only they know is a place where he perhaps felt the most alive. And I think he felt the most alive when things were the most simple. They just flowed. He didn't have to try. And I think perhaps that's the sort of thing that our protagonist is looking for. That's all I have for this song. I hope you enjoyed it. I love this song so much. Please listen to it if you haven't already. I'm sure you have because this song is a classic. Please let me know what you think below. Do you think this place is a physical place? Is it more of a metaphorical place? Do you think this song is about a relationship, or do you think it's more of kind of like an introspective type of vibe? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, I'm taking requests. I'm currently going through Taylor Swift's Folklore album. I thought I would take a little break from folklore for a second and just do a random song that I've always loved. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.